Marky, Ricky, Danny, Terry, Mikey, Davey, Joey. Wait, no, sorry. Marky, Ricky, Danny, Terry, Mikey, Davey, Timmy, Tommy, Joey, Robbie, Johnny, and Brian.
I know you'll know where we were when. I know you'll know where we were when.
Hello and welcome to Where We Were When, a podcast where we look back at the most memorable movie-going experiences of our youth and eat candy. I'm your host, Heidi Gardner, and I'm joined by my brother, Justin Gardner. Hi, Justin.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good because I just found out from our producer / editor, Catherine, that we are 20 episodes old today.
Yep, big 2-0. That's
big
great.
2-0. You had a nice little joke about that.
Yeah. The show can almost drink. So
that's huge. One more
show, and the show can drink.
And the show can actually
it can drink in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
It can drink in Europe, but not here in the States.
And the show, I think the show will at 21. I think the show will tie one on. I think it's gonna pass out.
Will it? It'll black out.
Mm-hmm.
Have way too much.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey, it's never too much of a good thing on this show.
That's true. That's true. Right. And this show, not only are we 20 episodes old, but also this is a special holiday edition of Where We Were When. This is our Christmas.
Yes.
And look at your little elf back there.
I've got a little elf. I've got a truck. Mm-hmm. I've got a camper.
Mm-hmm.
I've got it says I'll be gnome for Christmas.
I thought I saw a gnome back there.
I got another gnome
over I see that one
there.
Yeah,
right there. And and that's it. And the green light. So
yes.
Yes. So if you're listening to this right now, boy, are you missing out, because these decorations are just amazing.
And you have technically a tree. There's a plant in the corner.
I do. Yeah. That's always been here.
Yes.
Yes.
But it's green.
And I didn't have I couldn't find any lights. Otherwise I would have dressed it up with lights. But yeah, that's a sad story.
No, it's a great story. What I see, I think this would make our Mamo very proud.
Oh, absolutely. Mamo goes all out. Mamo. How many tubs? How many tubs are in the basement? 10 tubs of
10
stuff?
tubs, because she's also one of those people that does the garland. The garland on everywhere. And that is
lights everywhere.
It's whole other art. I mean, a Christmas tree with ornaments is a lot. But if you go garland, I mean, you're a pro.
That's right. And she did spring. How many years ago was it? Maybe 4 or 5 years ago for the fake tree.
Yeah.
But when we were growing up, always the real tree.
Always the real tree.
You got that smell. Oh. I actually, Sarah and I, my partner, we just brought in our tree this weekend. And there's just, if you don't like pine, which the guy that we were trimmed our tree is I've had this job 20 years and I hate it. It's because he doesn't like pine smell.
Oh my God.
I know. It's why are you working in a Christmas tree thing? But hey, that's his burden to bear. But, yeah. It's just that smell. It's oh, this is Christmas.
Yes.
This is really the holiday season. So, I'm really, this is one of my favorite seasons. It may be my favorite, I think, because it's you get to hang out and give gifts and exchange, and and it feels like it's kind of all of the holidays bundled up into one, because usually there's a meal, usually there's gifts.
Yeah.
And then for us on Christmas Day, we had a tradition of our own.
Yes, we did.
You and I.
Yes. Justin and I, we would go see movies on Christmas Day. One of the most exciting times to see a movie, because usually if you were going to release a movie on Christmas Day, it it had to be a good movie, or at least the like hope
Legit.
of a good movie, you know?
Yeah.
It was definitely like in the Entertainment Weekly, like winter movie preview, you know, there was a lead up. You were excited about it.
It's a big deal.
Yes. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Not necessarily Christmas movies. There's
No.
always a lot of talk about like your typical Christmas movie, which is very fun. But we're going to talk about some of those Christmas releases that we went and saw.
Yeah. And we saw a lot, and I think we're only going to be probably covering like 5 or 6.
Yes.
But I mean, especially once I started to drive too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was like we would see sometimes that was our thing. We would see like 2 in one day.
Yes.
Did we ever see 3? I think we
sure
might
we
have
did.
seen 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cuz like the tradition for us was Christmas Eve was presents. That was presents. And we were hanging out with family at Mammo's, and we would have dinner that night. And then we would go to bed.
Yep.
And
sleep
in the
out,
living room.
Yeah, out by the tree, which still falling asleep by a lit Christmas tree. Everything's dark except the glow of the tree is like magical.
Magical. And I never did wake up. They would somehow sneak the presents in under the tree. And there were presents for a little while, but then it eventually sort of like transitioned to stockings, you know, like our stockings would be full. But so we'd have a little Christmas morning. And then the rest of the day was just like, you guys do whatever you want to do. Like, you know, because their job, they were like, our job is done. You have your presents, you had your big meal. Now go do something.
Well, and just to like amend it a little. So on Christmas Eve, it would be presents from Mammo and Bampo or our dad. We would know those presents were from them on Christmas Eve.
Right.
And then on Christmas morning, the presents then turned stockings, which would be overflowing with presents. It was like a fun stocking display. Those would be from Santa. So it was like, I think they did a good job by letting us, like, maybe I wasn't quite as suspicious because I was like, well, yeah, they get us presents and Santa does his thing on Christmas. Like, they made it make sense in my mind. Like,
when did that switch for you? When did the whole like Santa conspiracy just kind of like fall apart?
Oh, I remember completely because, okay, so our Mammo had, surprisingly, you never did it. You were great. You kept the secret. You were
I didn't
awesome.
I don't never tell you.
Yeah. So
no,
it's probably when I'm 8 or 9. No, maybe I'm like 7. Yeah. 7 years old.
7. Okay.
I had asked Santa for fashion plates. Do you know what those were?
I know.
They were just these like,
not at all,
almost like raised stencils that you could like put a piece of paper on and then you just like rub over it with a pencil and then like the image would come through and it was like a fashionable model and like cool clothes. So those were fashion plates.
Okay.
So I asked for fashion.
I still don't remember you getting those at all.
Yeah. Well, I asked for fashion plates and that was on my like Christmas list to Santa. So I'm in Mammo's car in her like convertible. And remember how she had those seat covers?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So it's like a tight squeeze in the back seat. You must have been in the front seat and I'm in the back seat. And I could tell that in the back, there was something under the seat cover. And so I just kind of lifted it up and I saw that it was fashion plates. And so in my head, I was like, oh, Mammo got me fashion plates for Christmas. That's all I thought. So then on Christmas Eve, we open up all our presents and there are no fashion plates. And I was like, oh, maybe that was for someone else. And then the next morning, the presents that were supposed to be from Santa, I got the fashion plates.
Oh, man.
You know?
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
I see it.
So I was like that. Yeah.
You didn't think that there was just some sort of coordination happening between, it was just immediately like, oh, this is a lie.
Yeah.
They're lying to me.
Yeah, it was like, this is from
This is just
Mamo.
bullshit.
Yeah, Santa's not
There
real.
wasn't anybody in like at that time, because that's a really weird time, right? Like the 7 to 10 window, right?
Mhm.
Is like a, I think Zeb refers to it as that Goldilocks zone, right?
Yeah.
Where you're not a child, you're a
Mhm.
child, but you're not like a child,
Yeah,
right?
baby.
Like you're forming your own opinion. You're not a baby. You're forming your own opinions. You're starting to figure out lying,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
you understand sort of like social hierarchy,
Mhm.
friends, people who are popular, people who are unpopular, right? Um there wasn't ever anybody in school that was like, yeah, Santa's not real.
I think about that, and I have to imagine, just kids being kids, there had to have been that. I
Mhm.
had to have heard it. I think I probably ignored it. I mean, personally, I wish Santa was real. I wish that was a real thing. I love it. It
Uh-huh.
sounds incredible. I wish that was real.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my biggest
I
wishes.
wish Harry Potter was real.
I don't. I don't.
I wish magic was real. I wish ghosts were real.
I mean, not all of those things, not as much as how much I wish Santa was real. But
Well, yeah.
yeah, I just think I didn't want to believe, and then I just figured it out, and then from then it was like, oh,
Uh,
um, so that's when I knew. I also just wanted to say one other like quick tidbit about Mamos at Christmas. So I loved the fact that yes, we had a dinner. That was fun, but also Mamo has this spread of all these like holiday trays of like fudge and the Chex Mix and Hershey's Kisses, and there was always, I don't know what it is. There was always just the red and green M&M holiday M&Ms. And there's something in my mind about when they're red and green, I feel like they're superior. We're going to be talking about candy in a second, but something about the red and green or M&Ms is like so delicious to me. Like I can't wait to eat them this season.
it's interesting because at that time too, there were no flavors, right? Like I think peanut M&Ms were even sort of like maybe it was
Yeah,
even out
rare.
like rare.
Those were
Definitely not
special.
almond, definitely not
No.
peanut butter. I mean, it was like I don't even remember peanut M&Ms back like in
Yeah.
the day. I just
Yeah.
remembered the and the colored M&Ms they had those sort of like it was like you remember the M&M store? There was an M&M
Yeah.
store
Yeah, they're still,
and they
yeah.
had like all the different colors and they were like really expensive, per
Mhm.
pound. It was
Yeah.
like $9 per pound for like, pink M&Ms or aqua blue M&Ms, right? Um, so they kind of had that sort of like higher class,
Yes.
feel
Yes.
than just like a brown M&M or a yellow M&M or what have you,
Yeah.
right? So or a blue M&M. So, um, yeah, no, Mamos had a cornucopia of that. They also, there was a time period too there where we would have a little bit of a Christmas party,
Yes. Yeah.
over
Yep.
at Mamos on Christmas Eve.
All of the people
Um,
from the laundromat would come. Our Mamo had
right.
a laundromat, the wash house. Yeah.
And I got to give a shout out to Bev
Oh my God.
because Bev always gave the best gifts.
Do you
I
remember?
mean,
Really?
legit. If to me, she
Yeah.
did. Yeah. Did she not to you?
No, no, I bet she did. I bet I was just really little and can't remember them as much from
She
Bev.
she would always give me like because I was really into baseball cards, right? So
Yeah.
she would always give me like legit baseball cards, like
Oh,
legit like something that was worth like $15,
I love
right?
that.
Where it's just like and like a $15 baseball card at that time, and we're talking like late 80s, right?
Mhm.
Where there were really only three. There was Tops, of course, but that really wasn't the one that was the valuable one. It was Donruss or Fleer.
Yeah.
And she would give me these baseball cards, and they were like, like a $15 baseball card,
Mm.
from like a few years back that she had to go to a baseball card shop and get,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it was
Sweet.
always like, yeah, it was always really nice.
You know
Bevan
what?
RC,
Bev
rest
and
in peace.
RC. My favorite Bev memory that I still take with me, and now I'm going to give it a tip to our listeners. So Bev would press the shirts at our Mammo's laundromat. And when she smoked those like long brown cigarettes. Yes.
More.
Okay,
the more cigarettes.
Super
in
long.
The
in
laundromat.
the laundromat pressing people's shirts that had just been cleaned.
Yes.
That had just been dry cleaned. So immediately getting the smoke smell on them. But I would sit over by her while she was pressing the shirts, and she would have a chunk of Colby Jack cheese, a bag of nacho cheese Doritos, and hot Totino's or Old El Paso salsa. And she would cut a little slice of Colby Jack, put it on the Dorito, and then put the hot salsa on it. And you guys, I am not kidding. Like, I can taste it in my mouth right now. It is one of the best snacks. So good.
She figured it out. With all of that smoke, she needed some pretty pungent, strong,
it's true.
flavors.
She needed Colby Jack, she needed nacho cheese, and she needed heat.
Yes, some big time heat. Some big time heat to get past that.
That was Bev. And I think we've probably whet the listeners' appetites after red and green M&Ms now. So we should get to our candy.
Smoking cigarettes in a laundromat. Yeah, we should. We should get to candy. I have a package. It's a pretty big package. So I'm gonna duck out here.
It's got maybe some little Christmas. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe there's a little Christmas in there.
I've got a Merry Christmas.
Yep.
Christ. Yep.
Christ the King.
That'll come up later. Just taking this.
Yeah, we're gonna do a mass. So you'll listen to the episode, and then if you want to stay on, there'll be like 30 minutes of silence, and then we're doing a midnight mass. So
that's right.
Make sure you time this where then it lines up with the midnight mass.
All right. Wait a second. I have a. I'm sure this is very exciting for people who are listening to this.
Well, it's ASMR.
That's right. Oh, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And this is the sparkly. You see the sparkles, and this is not
a bit.
Sparkly.
Okay.
So I'm gonna
bit.
Bring this out. Very nice of you. Okay, and there's a lot of stuff in here. But I see some candy. So that first, right? We're gonna do the candy.
Yeah, let's do candy, and then we'll do
okay.
Gifts.
Well, are you fucking with me?
What?
Are you fucking with me? Or is this? I thought we weren't gonna do this anymore. I thought. I see something else. This is a joke, right? Butterfinger bites.
I thought we weren't gonna do this anymore.
Okay.
No.
I didn't put this in here. I didn't put this in here. Okay.
Well, I didn't. Okay. I didn't put it in there.
We'll get to that. We'll get to this later.
Justin just did another ad for Butterfinger.
I think we need.
Did you earn a full bar?
I don't think they're not bar. It's a bite. They're Butterfinger bites. Did you not see this?
Well, I'm glad that you clarify. Yeah. Okay. Did you earn another bite? How much?
It was never
Butterfinger paying you.
I don't know. I stopped doing it. I didn't put that in there.
I don't know.
I didn't put that in there.
Have you ever in your life received a check from Butterfinger? Yes. You're thinking about it. You're thinking about it.
They're not called checks anymore. So,
oh my God.
Listen,
you're like Odell Beckham Jr. You get paid in Bitcoin from Butterfinger.
That's right.
Yeah.
I get some Ethereum. I get some Bitcoin. Well, right. Butterfinger bites. Butterfinger Bitcoin. Look, Sno-Caps. This is the candy.
Sno-Caps, yes.
This is perfect. Sno-Caps.
I mean,
so let's get into this. I'm not going to do presents right now. Are we going to do presents right now?
Well, let's talk about it, and then I do.
Let's talk about. Yeah, let's do Sno-Caps first. Yeah,
because I feel like we're going to get through this pretty quick. Okay.
Sno-Caps?
Yes. Okay. It looks very Christmassy, doesn't it? Sno-Caps.
Yeah, it's like I don't. Here's the thing: these were always in the theater, but I never got them.
And same, and I think it's because they look so appealing. And granted, I haven't had them in years. They look so appealing, And then I think you try them once and you're like, never again. I could be wrong.
Well, no, you know what always steered me away from them is this word right here. Non-parallels. What in the fuck is a I was like, what is that? Right. And I was just like, and it's just this bumpy. Now, here's the thing. I have had these recently.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what these things are? They're just chocolate chips.
They're just chocolate chips. I just ate one, and I wanted to say that to you. I wanted to just go, okay.
They're just chocolate chips with like extra
chip.
Candy. They're just like a little extra candy. So it's like a little like, it's kind of like a vanilla-y thing. But
that barely gives flavor. It just gives crunch. It's just a straight up chocolate chip.
It's like bringing a bag
of chocolate
chips.
Which you'd probably be better just bringing a bag of chocolate
Which
chips.
is actually, I'm like, okay. Yeah, but yes, exactly. Now, yeah, I mean, if you wanted to kind of like do like the sneak your candy in thing. But what the fuck is a non-parallel? Is it, I guess it's these little things. Like these little guys. You know? Right. Those little guys.
Yeah, but it's like, then I think it would say semi-sweet chocolate with non-parallels. But it just says semi-sweet chocolate.
Yeah, the whole thing is a non-parallel. So
see if we get any more info.
I'm really interested in, I want to know how these even came to be. Because I don't understand how somebody, this had to be like some sort of fancy candy that kind of fell out of favor.
Mm-hmm.
And the non-parallel industry is like, all right, what are we going to do? You know, sales are down. It's like, I've got an idea. Let's put them in boxes and sell them to kids in theaters.
That's
with that voice.
Yeah.
And it worked because they're still selling them. It worked. Sno-Caps.
I feel like we should try just a little harder as humans, because we've both said non-parallels a couple times now. And from the spelling, there's no way it's non-parallels. And I think we should both try one other.
Parallels?
Yeah, non-parallels, non-parallels.
I don't know. You there watching this, what the fuck does that say? Parallels.
N-O-N-P-A-R-E-I-L-S. Well, R-E-I is like Riley. Non-parallels.
Non-parallel.
And I love this box.
Non-parallels.
Non-parallels. Now it's not called non-parallels.
Non-parallel.
Non-parallels. Parallels. It says no added artificial flavors.
Non-parallel.
No.
No, it's definitely not that. It's just eat your candy, you know? Don't think about it too much.
Okay, so that's Sno-Caps. Justin, do you want to show everyone what else I got you for Christmas?
I do. Wow. There's a lot of calories in that. Okay. So
because it's just chocolate chips.
I know.
That's why I think.
Okay. Got some cute stuff in here. I got a little guy here, and it feels like he's got a little something. Ooh.
Bells jingle all the way. Hey, he's good.
He's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna set him to the side. I hope he stops talking soon. Oh, he did. Look at that.
Yeah.
Santa. Does he have this? Do you have it? He's got like a guy. Oh, there you go. Wait. That's like it ends. Like like he didn't sing.
That's all they had the money for.
That's all they had the money for in Bangladesh. Okay. I have some some angel wings.
Sweet. Because you're an angel.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I have to, find a spot on my wall there that I'm gonna take down right after we finish recording. And you know what? Okay, so looks like I've been a bad boy because I got some coal.
Coal. I
So yeah,
love that.
some candy coal. Let's see what this stuff. Have you ever had this stuff? Double crisp coal.
Yum.
Yeah. So this guy looks like we got a little treat here. It's like, all right.
I mean, that was
You
kind
know
of
what?
scary because it does look like coal. So it kind
It
of
does look
looks
like
like you're
coal.
eating coal and that you'll hurt
And
your teeth.
another thing about Santa is that Krampus, Santa was like the good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Krampus was the bad guy for the bad kids. I think Krampus got turned into coal, but Krampus was like the guy who would like come and like eat children, if they misbehaved. All right. The reason for the season. So a lot of people don't know this. But there's a reason why we're saying Merry Christmas. And it's because we really do believe in the Lord. Noah's Ark coloring book here.
Yep.
Includes stickers.
Yep.
So, and this happened, people. Okay, so Noah's Ark is real. Heidi, I believes it. I believe it. They got 2 of every animal.
Mm-hmm.
There was a massive flood, and there's a lot of scientific evidence to support that. So I'm glad that you got this for me because this is going to be really.
I do completely support and believe in Noah's Ark. I just don't believe in necessarily the religious aspect of it. I just feel a different.
No,
I believe.
No,
yeah,
that's true. No,
yeah.
that's not true. No, you're very religious.
I'm more like just.
Then why did you send me a little book of prayers?
And I believe in prayer too, and the power of prayer. I just believe in them in a separate way. Like I am
in a very religious, like
a truest
fundamentalist
to Noah's Ark. I just like
a true, yeah.
I don't
truly
feel
believe
the
in
religion
the divine
of it.
spirit.
I just feel
of
the like
Christmas.
animal of it, and like
we were talking right before this, and it was very much like, why is there a war on Christmas? I sent you something that I think you'll really like. I don't know why you're backing away from it now, but
I'm not.
It's right here.
I just feel like you're taking the religious
prayers.
part of it personally because you're like, oh my God, my sister isn't as religious as I am. And I'm saying I believe in all the same stuff. I just see it in a different context.
No, I'm saying you're more religious than I am. I mean, like,
no,
that's
I'm
why
more
I wouldn't.
of like a Noah's
we'll
Ark,
see.
like
We'll see what
enthusiast.
you got.
Like sometimes I believe in the Titanic. I've like doubted it sometimes, but
you believe in the Titanic.
And I believe in Noah's Ark.
There's video footage of the Titanic.
And if I'll send you, and we can put a link in it. Catherine can find it, I'm sure. I'll send you a link of Noah's Ark.
Well, Catherine and John too also. I mean, like, you have to understand, like, this entire crew of people, highly religious. I mean, highly religious.
Mm-hmm. But
so
all in different ways, I feel like.
All in the same, pretty much the exact same way, but different because we're all different people. But really, we believe, I mean, hardline Christians, really, so.
But I think every person kind of picks their like say it's like
their favorite saint.
Like if I'm a Huff and Puff or I'm a Ravenclaw or something, like within Christianity, like, oh, I'm a Noah's Ark.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. Which one do you like the most? Right? It's just Mark. Like there's only. Yeah, exactly. Matthew, but
and like Catherine's all like 10 Commandments, like can say them in a drop of a hat, and like
oh my gosh, it's
it's John's like very much
we pray
like
before every show.
Guy. Yes.
Yeah.
But
listen?
But that's
who isn't a
actually
that's
guy? For when we do midnight mass. So
yeah, we'll do midnight mass later. Yep, after
and you'll hear more about that.
So
yep, which and is
we
more
actually
like
we do
Catholic
it
thing, but
we do it in the original Latin. So if you really want a treat, you want to see Heidi, her eyes roll back in her head. I mean, just wait until the credits. After the credits,
and then just time it.
That's right.
And I have a present for you from you, Justin.
Yes, you do.
I took it out of the package already, but I love the wrapping.
Okay.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, Lil MJ.
Yes,
you're welcome.
Air Jordan. Yep. You know me well. Look at this.
Ooh,
very cool.
Yes, I remember that. Remember that.
Okay, something very throwback. Something where we were when. A
Yes.
disposable camera.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I should take.
Right?
Okay. I was about to take a picture. All of the pictures are taken on this.
I don't know.
So this
I
is
don't
something
know.
I can't use. I'm just
You
get it
can't
developed.
use. You get them developed,
And
and
then
then
I
you can
get the present.
well, though they are the presents. The pictures are the presents.
Okay. Can I have a clue of what the pictures might be?
Various theaters from our youth. Well, actually from
Oh.
what that aren't around anymore. It's where they're not. So
So just
basically
like lots,
like
parking lots.
some are parking lots,
Yeah.
some are well, there's like a Sherwin-Williams paint store. So
Mm-hmm.
just to like, hey, remember when we used to see movies in this, where there is now a
Yeah.
Sherwin-Williams paint store? Things like that. Mostly empty lots, but there are some. So just it's about memories, right? And so you get that, and also I think like you just the disposable camera looks cool, right? So you can just put that up on the shelf
Mm-hmm.
and make believe that you took the pictures, which at
I mean,
least in the spirit, you kind of, like we've done this show. It made me think of this. And so, I knew you'd love it. So,
I do love it. I do love it. I just think it's funny that like you took all the pictures and then you
yeah.
sent it to me to get developed rather than just like giving me. I mean, I guess there is something
Yeah.
fun and throwback and I appreciate about going and like getting them done. I just think it's funny that like you didn't maybe like put all the pictures like in a collage or like I just go and get them.
Yeah.
It feels
Collages are
like
really your things.
I know, but it feels like you maybe ran out of time and so you did like half the present. That's just my.
Uh, well, I mean, I just figured that, it on the way to church, you'll be able to that I know we've whenever I come in town, we go to church pretty much every day. And
Mhm.
right there next to the church is that place that does the photos. And so I figured you could just
Yes.
drop it right
It
off.
is
It takes an
so.
hour. You'll be in church for 2 hours, and then you'll come out and the photos will be waiting for you. So
I know, I always
I
think that I hope that I don't think it's a 1 hour photo next to it, but I'm like, "Oh, I hope those, photo developers are religious," because I imagine they're, like, right up against that church, and there's so many
I know.
organs where we go, and, like I mean, it's gotta be, like, loud, and the choir there is,
I'm
like
sure they enjoy it. I'm
yeah.
sure they enjoy
Well,
it.
that's what I
Yeah.
mean, I
I
hope
mean,
they're religious.
that's right. That's right.
Okay. So thank you for that. Loved it. And then I want to save the big one until the end of the show. So
Okay.
okay. So okay, this is gonna sound wild, but so okay, Justin and I want to talk about movies that we actually went and saw on Christmas. So, like we said earlier, we
Yes.
would go to the movies on Christmas. And there's one that I want to bring up first, which is going to sound a little wild because this very much does not feel Christmassy at all. But I
Uh-huh.
remember being so psyched to see it. And we went on Christmas night to go see in 1996 The People versus Larry Flint.
Yes. Like who does that was some counter programming there.
Yes,
The People versus Larry Flint.
on
Um,
Christmas, which I love.
Woody Harrelson as Larry Flint.
Hmm.
Courtney Love as somebody, Larry Flint's wife,
Yeah.
late wife. I think I actually saw Courtney Love at SNL one time
Yeah.
too, just
I
kind of
saw
like
her there
hanging out.
too. Yeah.
Um,
Which was
and
awesome.
Milos Forman, really,
Directed. Yeah.
really famous director.
That was a big deal and
Mhm.
exciting.
And I'm trying to think of
Ed Norton
Ed Norton as
as
the
the
lawyer.
lawyer.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
which I think kind of started Milos Forman's like relationship with Courtney Love, loving her because then she ended up playing opposite Jim Carrey in Man on the Moon. Um and just
That right.
another
That was
yeah.
that was Milos Forman. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
What he had to deal with
A
with
lot.
a lot.
A lot of
Jim
personality.
Carrey.
Full
Jim
Method.
Carrey. Yeah. Full Method. Have you ever seen that documentary about
Yes.
him and
Yeah.
Tony Clifton, like the Tony Clifton's bullshit that
Yeah.
he did?
Yeah.
Wow. I
Yeah.
mean, commitment, but also
It's a lot.
like if you're the director of that film, you should know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't think that any of that type of stuff happened on The People versus Larry Flint, but holy shit. I mean, I cannot even imagine trying to deal with that. But in any event, People versus Larry Flint, talking about Christmas movies.
Well, the thing that I really remember this about why one of the reasons I was so excited is because there were a few reasons. I was a fan of Milos Forman. That was exciting.
Right.
I was a fan of Hole, and just the fact that Courtney Love, who was this like grunge goddess, then kind
Right.
of gets this like that, people in mainstream Hollywood and mainstream music would always like hate on. And she kind of gets this role in this movie, and you're like, oh, this is a movie that could get nominated, and Courtney
And
Love's
did.
in it, yes. And I think she got nominated even,
She
maybe.
did.
Yeah.
I think she did get nominated.
And so it was like just very exciting to like just I think like, oh, Courtney Love's gonna kill it in this movie. And then also Edward Norton had done Primal Fear, which was like, was that what it's called? I think it was called Primal Fear.
Primal Fear. Yeah, with
Yeah.
Richard Gere.
Which was like his kind of breakout. And so it was exciting to see what his next thing would be. And
Hadn't
so
he done Primal Fear. And then he had done American History X
I don't think he had
before.
because American History X, I remember seeing my freshman or sophomore year of high school. And that would
Okay.
have been after 96.
Gotcha.
Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. So anyhow, there was just something like cool about this. Plus Woody Harrelson was like always in good or funny movies. So I was dying to see this, but I know that it was mostly the Courtney Love of it all. And like, even as like, I was probably, 13 or something, I was like really rooting for her because I did feel like she just got hated on so much in the press. Just for like kind of being raw and unfiltered. And I was like, I really wanted her to just like show people uh what she had. And I thought she was really good in that movie.
Well, the hate, the hate, I really do think was because people didn't like that her and Kurt Cobain were together.
Yes.
You know,
That was some of
and
it for sure.
yeah, and people thought that she was drafting off of Kurt Cobain's genius and career.
But
And
she's
but
very talented musician. Like that first
well,
whole
yeah,
album is fucking incredible.
yeah, and it's not
The
just that. It's
second.
not just musicianship. Obviously, like there's charisma, there's personality, there's a point of
Yes.
view there.
Yes.
There's a very much an intellect there, right? And it was, and listen, I mean, Kurt Cobain, I don't think a lot of people remember, but he was very, very sort of like anti-fame, right? He
Yes.
hated the fact that like Nirvana was famous.
Yeah.
And
she
he
was very into fame.
and that's exactly it, right? Because the
Yeah.
whole grunge thing, like it was like this like reality, where, in 96, was that after he had
Yeah.
left us? It
Yeah.
was. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this was kind of her second act.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely a thing because like, it's like, oh, she's trying too hard. The whole grunge thing was like, we're not going to try too hard. We're not going to be glam rock. We're just going to wear flannels and, Doc Martens, right? And just like play music, right? That was the
Yeah.
whole Seattle grunge vibe, right? It's like,
Yeah.
it's about the music. And she brought a little bit more like, no, this is about, I'm a fucking rock star.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm going to wear this like nightie. I'm going to like put, I think that she was kind of in that sort of like, there was Hole and there was Marilyn Manson, so there was a little bit more glam, right? That was like brought into that, after it was like grungy, but it was also like a like a mix, you know,
Yeah.
of the two things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she got shit on a lot, but she then made a career for herself, you know,
Totally.
in a number of films. And this was really, I think was this her first film?
I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it
So it
was
was just
too.
there was like an anticipation around it, at least for me, where I was just like, what's she
Yeah,
gonna be like as an actress? And she was great.
really good.
Yeah.
And
So
Woody Harrelson.
and Woody Harrelson always delivers.
He hadn't really done much before Cheers, right? I mean, 96, like White
Oh
Men Can't
no.
Jump. I think White Men Can Jump, right? Or White Men
White
Can't
Men
Jump.
Can't Jump and I think Kingpin had come out by then for sure.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you're right. I
Yeah.
think you're right. But he was still just like, and that's he. I think he got it. Sorry.
He got a non-Perel stuck.
No, it's those goddamn Butterfinger bites.
Oh,
Um,
of course.
I got a bit of bites in my throat. So
Well, look what they
sorry.
do.
I know they flush
Bad
you out.
No, that was bad advertising. They choked
They flush you out,
No, don't try. They flush you out by choking you.
and then you know
And you're
now I've got like a really nice. You know, it made me
you sound like
make
this because you
making
got
me
like a
ma-
full
ma-
bite
making
in
me
your
choke.
throat.
making me choke.
I want you to touch that little dangly thing that's swinging the back of my throat.
So thank you,
No.
Butterfinger Bites, for that.
Oh my God.
This thing probably got like 4 or 5 Oscar nominations.
Yeah, but then I don't think won anything. It was one of those
I don't think
ones
it won
where
anything
I
either.
always root for like, especially at that age, and probably I don't watch the Oscars as much now, but I always wanted like the underdogs. Like I wanted Courtney Love to win. Like I
Right.
cried when Brad Pitt wasn't nominated for Legends of the Fall. Like I did.
And going back, that was not an Oscar winning performance.
I'll watch it over Christmas with you.
Sure.
Okay. We should
Yeah,
see,
we might
should see
catch
a
about
movie
30 minutes of that movie.
We should see a movie on Christmas Eve or Christmas.
Yes. And
you know what?
this is the other thing too. This is what a lot of people don't know. We don't spend Christmas together
No,
anymore.
I'm usually in
Because-
Colorado with Zeb.
Yeah, because the Zeb side of the family has kids. They have children, they have grandkids, right? And so Christmas is, you know, it's cool and it's not a big thing, but then you come the week after Christmas. But
Yeah.
this year you are going to be here for Christmas.
Yep.
So
And you know what opens
pretty
on
cool.
Christmas Eve in Kansas City?
Oh, I'm sure you're going to tell me.
Licorice Pizza.
Okay. All
So
right.
that could be fun.
Yep. A little Wes Anderson. No, not Wes
PT.
Anderson. Paul PT. Oh God,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. So sorry, Paul. Because I know Paul Thomas Anderson listens to this podcast.
Yes. Hi, Paul.
and for me to say that, he's like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, I always get with, you know,
Yeah, do
I was
not do that.
first.
Yeah.
You know, PT was first and then Wes came in and he's like, the Andersons, right? But Paul Thomas, PTA,
Yeah.
as you know, we call him, you know, when he's
Yeah.
over for dinner. Licorice Pizza. You know what Licorice Pizza is, right?
What it is, or that it's a movie?
No, it's yeah, of course it's a movie. What
Yeah.
I'm saying is, do you know what it stands for?
I can't
You know what
remember. I did read it and now I'm blanking.
Okay, so Licorice Pizza, the San Fernando Valley.
Uh-huh.
It was the name of a record store, and it's also slang for an album because licorice pizza.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. And I have to be very, very transparent about this. I heard that name and I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah,
I thought it was just this like made up name. And I was like, what are you doing, dude? And then it's like, oh no, it was the name of a record shop. And
Yeah.
it's actually I was like, oh.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I felt like a
I
complete
know,
asshole.
but it does
'Cause
feel like just like an improv.
a little
team
bit
name.
too,
Yeah.
a little bit too like indie. Like I'm just gonna call something, you know,
Take two
Fliverish
words
Flam
that are
Flam.
kind of cool on their own and match
Right,
them, and you're an improv
Yeah.
team.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. But no, it actually has a meaning. It
Yes.
is slang for a vinyl record album, and
Okay.
it was also a record store out in San Fernando Valley where he grew up.
Yeah.
Stars Philip Seymour Hoffman's kid.
Yep. Yeah.
And one of the Haim sisters, Alana,
Yeah.
I think.
Yep. Haim.
Haim. It's Haim. It's not Haim.
It's Haim. Yeah.
Oh, you would know. Yeah, you did that whole thing, that skit that one time. So we will see Licorice Pizza. Great, it's done.
Okay.
It's kind of, it's supposed to be like a bookend to Boogie Nights.
Awesome.
You know, because they're both set in that same time period. Boogie Nights, I think, came out in '96 too.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah.
Yes.
So
now
it was not released at Christmas. So
no, it was in
People
the
versus
fall.
Larry Flint. People versus Larry Flint.
Flint.
That's the one that we saw.
Now, the following year in '97, I could be recalling this wrong, but I remember seeing a double feature. One of them opened on Christmas, okay, and the other one opened in December, and I think it opened on December 5th, like in New York and LA, but I don't think it came to Kansas City until Christmas. So I remember seeing Jackie Brown and Good Will Hunting on Christmas in '97.
And what was the one that didn't? And that makes
Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting was a slow roll.
Yeah,
they were slow rolling Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, which makes more sense because the Tarantino movie would have just opened by that point, like wide.
But I mean, it was that was the follow up to Pulp Fiction.
No, Four Rooms was.
No, well, Four Rooms wasn't directed all by him.
Yeah, but it still like felt
he only did
like,
one of those. Robert Rodriguez and the.
No,
yeah, Four Rooms is
all. No, Four Rooms is all Tarantino. Robert Rodriguez is the death proof. Four Rooms is Tarantino. Robert Rodriguez is. I mean, I'll look it up right now.
No. You're thinking of the Grindhouse. You're thinking of Grindhouse. That's not the same thing. Grindhouse was after.
I know.
Four Rooms was. I'm telling you, Tarantino did not direct all those. It was Allison Anders, Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez, and one other person. Four Rooms. There were 4 different directors. I'm almost positive about that.
Okay, but he'd also done Reservoir Dogs. Like,
yeah, but that was an indie thing. I'm just saying, like, for me, like, it's Gus Van Sant, right? And it was just surprising to me that like Jackie Brown would be the one that like wasn't the rollout, because it didn't, I guess it had Robert De Niro in it, you know, and like Good Will Hunting had these 2 kids who nobody had ever heard of.
Yeah.
But it's like, I just didn't think like, I guess, I mean, Pulp Fiction really was like, I mean, he won the Oscar for Best Original Screenplay.
Yeah.
Along with Roger Avery for that. So he was much more of a household name than Gus Van Sant. But yeah, I guess we learned something new today. Both of us.
We did. Yeah. Now I have to say, when I saw Good Will Hunting, I was absolutely obsessed to the point where when it came out on video, not only did I buy the movie, I recorded Good Will Hunting onto a cassette tape.
Right.
And I would listen to it in the car. And I thought that was awesome. There's so many quotable lines, so many great performances. Another like just genius Robin Williams, can do anything performance. But yeah, that movie makes me so happy. It was and I was totally surprised. I didn't know much about it going in. And when Matt Damon hosted the show, at the end of the show, I got to tell him how much I loved Good Will Hunting. And I said to him, I still remember your 12 brothers. And he was like, oh shit, do I? And then together we said Marky, Ricky, Danny, Terry, Mikey, Davey, Joey. Wait, no, sorry. Marky, Ricky, Danny, Terry, Mikey, Davey, Timmy, Tommy, Joey, Robbie, Johnny, and Brian. And we did it together.
Oh, but fuck you.
It was
cool. Like, no, I mean, that's amazing. Obviously, that's amazing. I did see, I was there for him doing Kavanaugh.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe that was the same show. Was it the same show?
I don't think it was the same show, but.
Okay. But I saw him in the hallway.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those like, I was like, hey. And
Yeah.
he just gave me a little nod. So it was just kind of like I was like, oh, okay, he's going to be Kavanaugh tonight, because I never know what when I'm there, or
Yeah.
for that matter, anytime. But yeah, definitely friend of the show. I know, and he also listens to this podcast
Yes.
religiously.
Friend of this show, SNL,
Friend
but
of
more
this
a friend
show.
of where we were when.
More a friend of where we were when.
Yeah.
So Matt and Ben also just, I mean, in the comments, the YouTube, which is odd that they would comment so frequently in the YouTube
Yes.
comments, but it's just
But it's nice to see.
it's almost like a correspondence, in the YouTube
Yeah.
comments. So kind of check
How
out
they
all
keep
of
in
the
touch.
comments.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Very sweet.
share just really overly personal things in our comments. So, I mean, I guess
Yeah.
it's okay. They're beyond it, really, is what
Yeah.
the deal is.
They're cool with it. They're
Nobody can
comfortable
hurt
with
them.
themselves.
Nobody can hurt them. Yeah.
That's
they've
cool.
got
If
the
it's out
success.
there, who cares then? It's
That's
out
right.
there. Yeah.
But no, Good Will Hunting was just fucking perfect. I mean, like,
Perfect.
that was one of those movies that, like, you go back and you watch it, and apparently, like, that was one of those movies that, like, some earlier drafts was, the NSA got involved, and like Goodwill, or the Goodwill, Will Hunting, was, there was like some intrigue there. But they really like winnowed it down, and like, that I really feel like Robin Williams giving that, counselor role to Robin Williams.
Grounded everything.
Just absolutely grounded
Yeah.
everything.
And
what
Minnie
was that one-
Driver was fantastic in it.
Minnie Driver, which was was it
Circle of
Was it
Friends was her,
Circle of
like,
Friends? It wasn't
breakout.
Muriel's wedding. It was Circle of
No.
Friends. But Circle of Friends was that after? Because
No, it
wasn't
was
Damon in that
before.
too?
No,
Damon was in that.
Damon wasn't in Circle of Friends. He was in
Okay.
him and Ben Affleck, I think, were both in School Ties. Like, they had like bit little parts, which was also like kind of like a boarding school type thing. And Circle of Friends.
School Ties was also Brendan Fraser, I
Mhm.
think, right? He had the lead role.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Minnie Driver, and what was that line? It's like
I gotta go
like,
see about a girl.
no, it's like when it's the best line in the movie. It's
How
like
do you
when
like
he
them
like
apples? Because I got her
right. No, it's
number.
like yeah. No,
Do you
no,
like
he
apples?
yeah. It's like da. He's like, hey, you like apples? Because I got a number. How you like them apples?
Yeah.
It's like, it was just perfect.
It was so funny.
That was a horrible representation of that line, and the Boston accent. But
Right.
just go back and watch Good Will Hunting to get the actual good version of that, because it's such a satisfying like sequence when that happens.
Do you like apples?
Yeah.
Well, I got a number. How do you like them apples?
And he's
So
he's such a dick. He's so cocky, but I mean, it just works.
Yep.
It just works, and as does Ben Affleck, and Ben's character saying, "Get the fuck out of here. You're better than this, neighborhood." Yeah, it hits on all cylinders.
And
Jackie Brown.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Had a fantastic soundtrack. A lot of good Elliott Smith songs.
Elliott Smith songs, and then like Baker Street.
And Fisherman Blues. Remember that one? They used to use it a lot in movie previews. So like, woohoo! It was like,
oh, right. Yeah. I remember Baker Street was the one where like it was like the slow-mo fight.
Yes.
Yeah. There was just so many good decisions in that. I mean, that's one of those things. It's like you just look at the filmmaking, the acting, the writing, just all the choices just down the line. It just and that was right around, I mean, it was 96, so I was in college. That was me coming back from Mizzou. Definitely,
97,
96, 97, yeah. And you were, because that was like probably the third year for me. And no, that's just so good. But let's talk about Jackie Brown. We've got a couple more movies to get through.
Yeah.
But Jackie Brown, on the other hand, I think threw people a little bit more for a loop.
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
Um,
always hard when you're coming off of Pulp Fiction. I mean, like the expectations are,
how do you do that?
how do you meet any expectation without like some criticism or a lot of criticism? I feel like people
He
were
basically
expecting so
resurrected.
much.
He resurrected the crime genre.
Mhm.
Um, he created his own subgenre.
Yep.
Um, he was in, Tarantino. Obviously, we're talking about Quentin Tarantino. Incredibly um, loquacious, verbal scripts, right? Where people were talking about highly specific things, just very, very often repeated
Mhm.
and imitated. Um, Nobody ever did it like him. And I feel like Jackie Brown was really more of like a Rashomon. And he was trying to resurrect careers, right? Because he had
Yeah.
resurrected Travolta's,
Yep.
right? Because he loved him in Saturday Night Fever.
Mhm.
And this was an attempt to resurrect
Pam
uh,
Grier.
Pam Grier and Robert Forster.
Yep. Because he loved
And
them, and yeah.
yeah, Cleopatra Jones, Coffee. Um, what else was Pam Grier? I know that there was one other like key
Yeah.
role that she had that I'm blanking on completely. Um, Robert Forster. Um, gosh, I really am completely blanking on the movies that he did back in the day.
Yeah.
But it was really it was a really, really sweet movie. Had a great soundtrack.
Yep.
Um, Robert De Niro as I guess, was it? He had just gotten out of jail, right?
Mhm.
It was him, and it was a really weird, um, redheaded Sam Jackson, um,
Mhm.
who
Yeah,
was this
great look.
murderous thug. Great look with this weird, twisty, like
Yes.
almost like a goatee that was like a twisty tie at the end,
Mhm.
or like braided. It was very strange. Chris Tucker, who doesn't last very long in the movie.
Mhm.
Um, Bridget Fonda,
Yep.
um, uh, which I think was one of the first times was like, does Quentin Tarantino have a foot
Yeah,
fetish?
yeah, for
Like,
sure.
because like that, her feet were definitely on display,
Yes.
in this. And then I think it basically like was sort of like his Rashomon, because it told the story from a few different points of view.
Mhm.
Just like Rashomon did, very famous Akira Kurosawa film, shows um, uh, a rape, and from three different points of view. And I believe that's what Jackie Brown did, is show this kind of like heist from
Mhm.
three different points of view. Um, and uh, that one was definitely one of those where I think we came out, we're like, huh, okay,
Yeah.
cool,
Yeah.
but like we were still riding on, like, I think, was that the first one or the second one? Because that was the
I was
longer
the
one.
It was the second one because I do remember coming out of Jackie Brown and it being like 12:30, 1 a.m. and you're just a little tired, so
Mm,
it's like,
right.
okay, maybe I shouldn't have seen this at 10:30, but
Because that was like
still,
2.5 hours.
yes. Yes. It was the
2 hours,
late
or maybe
one.
it was even like 2 hours and 45 minutes. I mean,
It was at
that's a
Ward
long movie.
Parkway. Yeah.
And we would see it at Ward Parkway, which still is the
Mhm.
AMC there.
Yeah.
We would see these movies, I would say mostly at Ward Parkway. Don't you
Yeah.
think?
At a certain point around that age,
Yeah.
it was definitely Ward
Yeah.
Parkway. Um, so then
So
we cut,
two indie favorites,
yes, two indie
right?
favorites.
Right.
Then a couple years later, and this is kind of cool because this is another Matt Damon movie when he had kind of reached another, like at this point, he's a movie star. 1999, Christmas Day, The Talented Mr. Ripley comes out. And that
Right.
that was a big deal.
Yes.
That was
Because
like
that was
Entertainment Weekly had been like pushing that one.
big
Um,
time. That was the
Gwyneth,
height of Miramax's power,
yes,
I believe.
yes, yeah.
Right.
Anthony
Um,
Minghella directed, Jude Law, Gwyneth Paltrow, and
right.
Matt Damon. Looks
And
beautiful.
gorgeous. And Anthony Minghella did Cold Mountain. But yeah, like that was one of those, and I think that was one of those movies that was like, okay, you know, like it was an adaptation of a
Uh-huh.
famous book or books.
Yeah.
Um, he Matt Damon was a con artist,
Yep.
who assumed the identity of I think somebody that he killed, or was
Mhm.
just sort of like a faker type of,
Yes.
he just like
Yeah,
he
really
was trying to
creepy. Yeah.
really creepy. Um, and Gwyneth Paltrow,
Yeah.
right? So there's
Yep.
another indie darling,
Yep.
especially during that time.
Big time.
That was during the time of like, was she in Macbeth too,
No, she
or
was in Shakespeare in Love.
Shakespeare? Oh yeah. I thought she was in
She was in
a
Emma.
maybe that's what I'm thinking about.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
but
she
that was
was yeah.
it was Miramax during that time.
Yeah, yeah. She was definitely I think she had I feel like Shakespeare in Love was like 99, so I think she had won the Oscar, and then Talented Mr. Ripley was after that. Um,
Okay,
or
okay, this
maybe
was post 2000
yes.
because that was after then. I actually I was out of college at that point.
Okay.
This
Yeah.
was me. I was back home at that point.
Yeah. So that was just a fun one to bring up. I remember that just being like a beautiful movie, a big deal. Um,
Very beautiful movie. Very
yes.
beautiful movie. And then we didn't talk about Jude Law, but that was definitely like, it's very interesting how these guys just sort of like spring up out of nowhere. These
Mhm.
British actors just are like, oh, it's, you know, James McAvoy. Oh, it's oh gosh, Benedict Cumberbatch, right?
Mhm.
It's this, it's that. They just here they are.
Yeah.
And it's always really interesting to me how actors just sort of emerge, right?
Yeah.
Suddenly,
And then
right?
they're in
Now with
everything.
yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like they're anointed, right?
Yeah.
Especially during that time. I don't think
Yes,
as much
big time.
anymore because
No.
there wasn't as much TV.
Yes,
So like
exactly.
I definitely think Benedict was sort of like the later part of that where it was a little bit more like, oh, it's Sherlock, and like you
Yeah.
got to know him through the BBC series. But a lot of these other people, like I'd never seen them before. And maybe it was because it just BBC, they were on other stuff. Fassbender. That's another guy
Uh-huh.
that I think
Yeah.
just like, hey, I'm here, It's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, Michael Fassbender. But you come to find out these guys had gone through the program. They were like the, golden boys in the Royal Theater Shakespeare like system over there,
Mhm. Yeah.
and they were like the cream of the crop. And so like if you were the cream of the crop over there, you're just gonna come over here and just crush it.
Yeah.
And I feel like Jude Law was part of that too. But then like that's the thing. It's like all of like the older names like Anthony Hopkins and those folks too, same path.
Yeah.
They were kind of all in that era, and they all came out of that. And so that was just where Hollywood was like, okay, that's the pipeline. It's funny. It's like, and the reason I talk about it's like the pipeline, it's like where the major leagues baseball have like the minor leagues,
Mhm.
and like the NBA has the
G
summer
League.
leagues,
Uh-huh.
G League. Yeah. NFL obviously has NCAA with football. Yeah, that's definitely like a pipeline. So just want to give Jude Law a shout out because he's had a hell of a career.
Listening as well. He is a
Listen,
listener.
yes,
Yeah.
Friend of the show.
Friend
So
of the show. So hi, Jude.
we have
Hope
about
you're
500 subscribers, and I would say that like to the audio podcast because they don't like to watch this. They don't like to watch people like me. They would love to watch people like you, but they just it
no,
offends them to watch somebody like me.
that's not true.
Um,
But
but they
90% of our I would say 90% of our audio listeners are now or were movie stars.
A-listers,
Yeah.
not just movie
Like
stars.
Sandra Bullock level and hello Sandra.
Yeah.
But
Hello, Sandra. Hello, Tom. Hello, Nicole.
yes. Yes.
Yeah. Hello, Dwayne.
Mhm.
You know the hello, Vin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. All listeners and all really nice. I mean, really nice in the DMs.
Hello Michelle Williams and Obama.
That's right. That's right. I know you've been looking forward to this Christmas episode, and so
Yeah.
and I know all very religious, very
Yeah.
highly religious people.
Yeah.
Especially
And
Tom.
a lot of them have been asking for us to talk about it on the show.
Come
So,
out, really.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we did it today. And yeah, and then just quickly, there were two more that I wanted to bring up. This is stupid, but I don't know if we saw a double feature in 2000 or not, but I do
That should
remember
be the tagline. The tagline of the show: "Where we were when." This is stupid.
This stupid.
Yeah.
But the big movie that came out on Christmas in 2000 was Castaway. I mean, you could not hear more about this
And
movie.
we talked about this, and we have a different recollection.
Well, here's the deal. Either we went to get tickets for Castaway and like we had to see the later show or something, and because it was sold out. And we saw a movie to bide the time, and we saw What Women Want, because that also came out.
We did not see that. I have never seen that movie.
Yes,
I have never seen that movie. Okay, so how can you be so cocksure about these recollections? Like, I'm really
because I've proven on this show I have a good memory. I remember a lot, especially about what stuff we did.
Proven on this show that you have a good memory. So like every recollection is correct. I would say, listen, I do not remember at any time watching that movie. I know what it's about. I know it's about Mel Gibson, devout Catholic, friend of the show.
And Helen Hunt, and I'm sorry, Justin right now is saying that he doesn't remember seeing the movie because he has seen the movie. And
I'm sorry, Helen. I saw it, As Good as It Gets.
Which also feels like it came out around Christmas, which we definitely saw.
Really, it does. Yeah, really, it does. Now, if you would have said Castaway As Good as It Gets, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah,
I'd be
sure.
For sure. But What Women Want, I feel like at the time I would have said no. Because it just is such a shitty premise of like this guy basically listening in on women's thoughts about how much they want to fuck them. It just is just such, and it just, at the time it struck me as just complete bullshit too. Right. Like, this guy hearing the thoughts of women and basically like, I guess using it to his advantage and then finding out that that's not a good way to be and da 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 da. But I don't remember anything about that movie. And so I'm just saying, I'm just kind of calling bullshit. I really don't think that was the movie that we saw. I think we saw something
I'm okay
else.
with that.
But Castaway, I'm almost positive we saw Castaway. You might be right about the whole like, oh, we had to go see, because that happened.
Yeah.
I would say that like that was pre sort of like on buying tickets online.
Totally pre-online.
You had to get there early. There was no reserve seating back then, at all in any way. And that was, people would show up to the theater at like the Psychopaths, and especially on like Christmas, you would have people show up to the theater like right when they opened and buy tickets for like 7 p.m. That's because people were buying tickets for like an entire family.
Yeah.
So we would get there like probably 30 minutes before a movie.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. And
we just kind of took our chances. We rolled the dice, and more often than not, we were rewarded, but Castaway though, Tom Hanks. We've talked about Tom Hanks before. We've talked about The Burbs. We talked about Joe versus the Volcano.
You've Got Mail.
You've Got
Also
Mail. Yeah, that was Rosie.
Release. Yeah.
Okay, a Christmas release. Great. That You've Got Mail. We've talked a lot about Tom Hanks, but this was one where he sort of did a De Niro, and gained like 70 pounds or something crazy. Did not look good. He gained a lot of weight because he was basically like he played this guy who was he a FedEx pilot, or was he was on a FedEx plane that crashed because that was the whole thing. Like there was a bunch of like boxes that like,
Yeah.
you know, and actually I just recently saw like probably like a 5-minute snippet of it on TV.
Mm.
But he was like trying to get home for Christmas or something like that, or he was like working over Christmas and his plane crashes and he's really, you know, overweight and he doesn't look good. He doesn't really look like Tom Hanks. And then it sort of cuts to like, I mean, what was it, 4 or 5 years later or 10 years later or something, where he had been on this thing and he was crazy and he was like rail thin. Um, and it was Robert Zemeckis, I think.
I think so too.
That ring a bell? Robert
Yeah.
Zemeckis. But yeah, it was during that time where Robert Zemeckis was doing films like that. And then he was also doing like the Polar Express, right? Where he was doing the Image Works. Yeah, and the Polar Express with Tom Hanks, but it was like that really creepy animation style.
Yeah.
He also I think did like it was A Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey, which had to come out on Christmas. And
well, he did Roger Rabbit animation.
Zemeckis did do Roger Rabbit.
Some of the best animation ever.
Or no, The Frighteners he didn't do. That was what's his name? That was Peter Jackson. But he produced it. But he was definitely it was Zemeckis and it was Spielberg at that time. And so this was definitely Oscar fodder as well, because that's the thing. It's like when a movie comes out on Christmas, they are aiming for the Oscars. 100%.
Yeah.
And that weight loss for Tom Hanks, he wasn't satisfied with 2 Oscars back to back. And Tom, I know you're a friend of the show. You're listening to this.
Yes.
You got a little greedy.
Right.
And by the way, it almost killed him. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. So during that time, when he was on that island, he got a staph infection.
Ooh.
And he didn't treat it correctly. And it put him in the hospital. And it was like a staph infection on his leg. So I don't know how close. I mean, he's told me a little bit about it here and there, and I've kind of dug in a little bit, and he just doesn't want to like talk about it because it seems like it's a painful memory for him and Rita.
And he's a private guy. And so
he is a private guy, private gal. But yeah, but he told me, he's like, it was hell. That's all I'm gonna say. It was hell, and I'm never gonna do that again. I'm never gonna not pay attention to an open wound. So lesson learned for Tom Hanks. And chasing an Oscar, not good. By the way, not good for the system. Gain that much weight, lose it in a short period of time. I know there's a fair amount of actors who do that.
Matt Damon, Courage Under Fire.
Courage Under Fire. Yeah, that's the first time anybody I think had ever really seen him. Although I think he was in Mystic Pizza before that. He played like a kid. I don't know if you remember that. He was. It was either him or Ben, but I think it was Matt Damon. But yeah, Tom Hanks. That was it. That was the movie. Like it was Tom Hanks and Tom Hanks. Well done. And 2 big product placements, FedEx boxes and a Wilson volleyball that he named Wilson. So, it was can you imagine him getting that script and being like, oh, so it's me and he's just, oh, more me and me and me and me. Me.
Yeah.
That was one of those movies that I think like we were also like, okay, cool. Yeah, that was good. But
yeah.
Like I don't think it was a barn burner for us. I don't think it was like, oh wow. Like,
there was so much
really
hype.
Something.
Almost too much
hype. A lot of hype.
So you're just kind of like, oh, okay. Yeah, that was good.
And that was the time of during, it was Premiere Magazine, Entertainment Tonight. I think cable even had those like channels that were just was basically just a promo channel. It didn't really have any
coming attractions, which was like
right.
Yeah.
Which was just a trailer show. It was literally just like trailers are and I love it, but you have to think trailers are literally just ads
Mm-hmm.
for a product,
Mm-hmm.
right? And even though
Totally.
we love it, that's all that it was. So can you imagine like putting coming attractions together, like and pitching that? It's like, so what do you have for me? It was like, well, you know, those ads that movies come up with,
Mm-hmm.
that's the show.
Yeah.
Sold, you know?
Yeah.
And I honestly think, I feel like E was started because of that. I really do. I feel like E's evolved to where it's at now with a ton of reality shows.
Yeah.
But at that time, man, I mean, it was really like, it was that shit. That's
Yeah.
what it was. It was just like,
Yeah.
hey, you want, you know, we'll play your shit, then you give us access to the stars to talk about your shit again.
Yeah.
Right? Amazing model. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
a genius model.
It was just kind of like coming attractions and E True Hollywood Story. And that's it.
Eat Your Hollywood Stories, and then Talk Soup
Yeah.
was on, right? But gosh, it was a lot of, it was just a lot of like promo. So,
Yes.
So Castaway.
Yeah.
Any
So
other memories of Castaway besides
No,
us not
just
seeing
those-
what women want?
Yeah, just those kind of. Yes, but those are some of the ones that I remember in that formative time. I think all of those were Ward Parkway movies.
They were.
And that's how we'd spend our Christmas. And it looks like we're going to spend our Christmas doing that again as well. So I'm very excited about that.
Seeing a little Licorice Pizza, PTA. We're going to see that movie.
And as we come to the end of this episode, I have one more present from Justin to open, but it's also the end of the year episode. So I just want to thank everyone for listening and sticking with us through this like really fun,
tough time.
Tough time working together.
It's just been such a slog.
Yes. But it's been such a not only like fun trip down memory lane, but also just like so many. I've just loved like revisiting the past with you through movies, through something we loved. I think we've had so many kind of like surprising moments where it was like, oh yeah, that happened, or I remember that, but you don't. And then learning so much about the guests we had on the show. I mean, people that I've known, but like, you know, lives are busy. It's like, there's a lot of people I never would have asked about, like, what was your first kiss at a movie? You know, like it's been really fun to find those things out.
It's been thank you to all the guests that came on, and thank you especially to you, Heidi, for suggesting this in the first place. This has been, gosh, I mean, a gift, you know?
To me
and
too.
being able to do this for like 20 episodes, and gonna see how many more that we're gonna do, but like it's just been amazing. And our you know, amazing crew, John and Catherine. I mean, you've made this easy.
Yeah.
Seamless. You've made it so easy and so enjoyable. And we just can't thank you enough. So big ups to everybody on the team and on the fam. You're all fam.
Yeah.
Thank you to all of our A-list listeners and all of our non A-list listeners too. Which are a small portion of the listeners. Most people that listen to this are movie stars.
Yeah, most are movie stars. And it is so crazy for me still to be like, Anthony Hopkins listens to us. You know, like, I mean, that's,
I know it's
crazy.
Well, if there's nothing, if what you've learned and what I've learned from you too is like what you love to do when you are a movie star or on any sort of show is just hear as much about you as possible. Right. So the reason that they listen to this show is because we just really talk them up. Right. It's a positive show. And, you know, now it's a Christ focused show, really. I think, you know, in the future, you know, we're going to really be leaning into that a lot because it's really important to us. And it's really important to basically every single movie star on the planet. So, you know,
cool.
Just doing our bit, you know, just want to make sure that the war on Christmas isn't lost.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly. Well, I have, we're going to close out the show with,
Yeah. So you said that. I sent you one thing. I
had another box.
I did not send you that box.
And
I sent you one thing. I mean, that looks big and great, but I did not send it to you.
I'm excited.
I sent you the camera.
I can tell that it's okay. Well, because the camera was, I feel like this is my real gift, and I'm going to open it because you're a great gift. You're a great gift giver, and I do appreciate the sentiment of the camera, but that is not typically a gift you would give me. I feel like you've given me so many kind of creative, big, amazing gifts in the past. So I'm going to open this.
Okay.
And I see a garment bag, and I am a clothes. I don't want to say whore. I'm a clothes
horse.
fan.
You can say horse.
Okay, I'll
say clothes horse.
And it is a garment bag.
Regardless of that distinction, I don't ever get you clothes. You know this. I don't ever.
I feel like you've gotten me. Okay, this is.
I have not.
This is not just clothes. This is like a gown. This is going.
I know. It's a big. Look at Jesus Christ. Like that is. What is that?
I mean,
I don't listen. I don't know what that is. This
is like
huge.
What my wedding dress came in.
I can't even. Whatever that is, I wouldn't even be able to afford it. Right? That's like.
That's not true. Okay.
This is going to be interesting.
God.
Because.
Oh my God. It's gorgeous. What? It's like, Justin. It's like this full, beautiful sequin gown, and then it's got a full. Wow.
If you're just listening to this,
then all these.
Jesus Christ.
Like ornate.
That is insane.
This is like the nicest dress I've ever seen.
It's 2 hangers. This was in a clothes bag, like a white clothes bag. She unzips it, and then there's 2 hangers, and there's a bodice with like a highly detailed. Like, is it floral? What is that?
Yes.
I mean, I'm trying to describe because I don't know what the fuck it is. Okay, no, I don't. I didn't send it there. This was not sent by me. You get shit like this sent to you all the time. Are you sure that did you check inside of the bag to see if there was anything in there?
Inside of it, Heidi Lynn. Honestly, it actually looked cursive. It actually looks like Mammo's.
I don't write in cursive. That is not my handwriting. Dad would call you Heidi Lynn. I don't call you Heidi Lynn.
Okay. Dear Heidi.
Okay. Do you know who is it?
I bought this dress in hopes my daughter would wear it on her wedding day, but the Lord only blessed me with boys. I'm giving it to you in hopes you'll wear it on your big day. I'm married. Merry Christmas and keep renting movies. Love, Zelda.
Oh. Oh.
Are you kidding?
No. What do you mean? Am I kidding? I'm not. No.
Because she sent me that other stuff. I'm saying, are you doing this as a joke?
Zelda's not a joke.
I know that Zelda's not a joke, but I know that you gave her my address before, and all that other shit came.
I can't ungive her your address. She has your address now in perpetuity. So
okay, but are you playing a joke so I get freaked out again?
No, I'm freaked out. I'm freaked out now because she's giving you a wedding dress. A wedding dress? That's a wedding dress, but she's giving you a wedding dress.
Okay, wait. There's 2 pictures in here. What? Okay. Actually, I am freaked out right now because these are baby pictures. Okay. That one looked weird, but this is me. That is me. And wait, look at that sweatshirt. Read that sweatshirt.
It says Operation,
and then that's an Operation Discovery sweatshirt. So I don't know who that other baby is, but this is me.
It's not me.
Well, I know that because we're not twins. This looks like my twin or something, or another baby exactly the same. That's me,
Who would
though.
who would that be? I mean, are those
Okay,
real photos?
Yes, these are. Okay, and see, this is what's freaking me out because you got me this, and then these are pictures that are like Mamo style pictures. These are like.
I don't. Yeah, I've never even seen those pictures. I have not seen those pictures.
Operation Discovery is where you went to school, correct?
Did you not go to school there?
No,
too?
I did like a little,
Like a
like when I was
preschool?
a baby.
Like a teeny little bit of just a little bit of preschool. Because I was there until 2nd grade. Which would have been, I think I was 6 and I would have been right as you were born. So like, no, Operation Discovery, no. Like,
Okay, well, this is
and it doesn't even
insane.
exist. It doesn't even exist now. Operation Discovery doesn't even exist.
I don't even care about that. I guess just for context, really quick. I don't know who sent this to me. I thought it was Justin. I do know who sent it to me. There was a woman that used to work at the Blockbuster that Justin and I would go to in Raytown, Zelda.
Yeah. Do we want to do a quick recap of the Zelda stuff? So like, just, kind of like, do you remember somebody named Zelda Brown?
Oh my God. With, she had like kind of the frizzy brown hair.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, she was so nice. She was like one of the nice ones. I mean, she was older, but she was like, would always check. Like, I think kind of like hooked us up.
I ran into her in the grocery store, and that's who got me that.
Keep shining, girly. Kisses and popping corn. Zelda from Blockbuster.
Okay. So she said she wanted to send you something, and I gave her your address. So, well,
wait,
she's
when
like,
when she gave you the backpack,
harmless.
You gave her my address.
And now she sent you a lovely dress and some pictures that I don't know how she got those pictures, but
I don't either. I think that
now you have
scares
them.
me the most. I do think the dress is really nice. I'm not trying to be mean. I think it is just like
maybe she is.
Address.
She probably listens to the show. So
no, I know.
She's
if
probably
she listened, she'd know that I was married to Zeb because he's been on twice. So I don't know.
Then maybe she doesn't.
Be grateful.
Yeah, she probably doesn't then. Yeah,
that was just a lot.
That's a lot. That is a lot.
But I will process that later. Justin, did you want to have anything to end the show with, or
did I want to give you another gift?
No, I'm just asking if you had anything else before we close out the show.
Man,
I'm just a little flustered.
I understand. I wanna give you one more gift. And it is a hilarious pitch sketch.
Of course it is. Yep.
This is what we agreed.
Yes, we did.
To do.
Okay.
And
one more sending me out of 2021 with one more hilarious sketch.
2021. Okay. All right. So since you got me this. You know what this looks like?
Angel wings. Angel the character.
Angel the character.
I'm taking the kids to my sister's.
Mm-hmm. Yes, my friend. Yes.
Okay.
So here's my pitch. Okay. Angel hasn't been on in a while.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think, and we were talking about Matt Damon. Mm-hmm. What did Matt Damon do?
He played my husband.
He played your husband, Tommy.
Yep.
Okay. I've been doing a little digging into the annals of SNL. Okay. And you've got a sister. Angel's got a sister. Right? Going to my sisters.
Taking the kids to my sisters. Yeah.
Taking the kids to my sisters. I think it would be hilarious if you took a couple of SNL characters that we know and love, that we know
Mhm.
from the past, and fuse them into the Angel timeline.
Mhm.
Do you know what characters I might be talking about?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So there was a couple of characters from Boston.
Mm.
Do you remember the characters
Uh-huh.
from Boston?
Yeah.
Zazu
Mhm.
and, they were the
Yeah.
Boston Red Sox fans,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There is a video. Now they're always being recorded by somebody. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
And it's Jimmy Fallon and it's Rachel Dratch.
Mhm.
And you know what? I forget what Jimmy Fallon's character's name is.
Mhm.
Maybe it's like Bobby or something.
Mhm.
But the guy who's recording, he's like, Tommy. He's always telling the guy who's recording, Tommy, get this. Are you getting this? Are you getting this? Right?
Tommy, is it on? What's up? This is Pat Sullivan at the Lexington High School Fall Formal.
I think that these two universes can collide.
Okay. Yeah. I see that.
Zazu is your sister. Tommy
Mhm.
was the friend of this.
Yeah.
You guys met. That's how all that happened. Rachel Dratch, bring her on. Bring
Yeah.
the sister on. Bring
Yeah.
Fallon on.
Mhm.
Bring Matt Damon back, right?
Okay.
Have a big
Christmas
jamboree at the week.
Miracle.
Christmas Miracle. Weekend
Mhm.
Update Desk.
Okay.
Fuse these two timelines together, create this meta universe of angelness, right?
Mhm.
I think people would go fucking crazy if that
Great
happened.
idea. Great idea.
Okay. You like that?
Yes.
That's a good one.
Congratulations. Yes.
That's a
You're
good
ending
one.
the year on a high.
I got it.
You did
I got
it.
it. Go back and watch that clip.
Okay.
Watch him say Tommy.
Hey, Tommy, you rolling? Over here, you creeper.
It's like bing. The idea just popped into my head. So how
Love
about that?
it.
How
Love
about
it.
that? SNL fans, Matt, you're listening.
Yes.
I don't know if Rachel listens. I know Jimmy listens.
Yeah.
So make it happen on the weekend
Let's
update
do it.
desk.
Let's
do it.
do it.
Get it
Great
done.
job. Great job,
Thank
Justin.
you.
Great job all year. I love you very much.
Great job to you two. Hosting, coming up with the show notes, putting up with me, and all of my various, amazing ideas.
Yes. It's my
Um,
sisterly duties.
That's right. I love you very much. I am very thankful for you. I look forward to what we're going to be doing in 2022.
Me too. Thank you guys so much and have a happy, happy, happy holiday.
Boys and girls, the Lord Jesus Christ is the one who gives us new life, and He's doing a new thing for us.
You know He's doing it. God is doing a new thing. You know He's doing it. God is doing a new thing. You know He's doing it. Who's doing it? God is doing a new thing. You know He's doing it. Yo, who's doing it? God is doing a new thing. My God is doing a brand new thing. Well, since time began, He remains the same. Faithful, I'm into His word and silent. A cornerstone unstirred. I look down through the ages and you will find God doesn't change, but He knows the time. From harp, piano, to song to rap, God's with us, so I cannot lack it. So God is doing a new thing in our lives. Lord. We're doing a new thing through Jesus Christ. Doing a new thing through our music. We're doing a new thing so he can use it. God choosing this music out, coming strong. Michael Clancy's y'all singing this song to make you think twice about the way that you live, and that you know Christ is the one who will give peace in your heart, a new start. Calling on the Lord and he'll do his part. A brand new thing to your raggedy walk. He might just match it up to that big old talk. God is doing a new thing in our lives, so we're doing a new thing through Jesus Christ. God is doing a new thing through our music. We're doing a new thing so he can use it. Oh, oh, oh yeah. Oh, oh, oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, oh, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hit me. You know he's doing it. Who's doing it? God is doing a new thing. You know he's doing it. Yo, who's doing it? God is doing a new thing. You know he's doing it. God is doing a new thing. You know he's doing it, doing it. God is doing a new thing. Like an MC, I'm here to boast. I rap about Christ, yo, here's a dope. So loud and proud of the guy I serve. Try to take you with a hook. You got nerve. Christ is the reason for Michael Clancy's. He's a focus of a daily walk, y'all. Without him, he ain't not but name. But through God, we're doing brand new things. God is doing a new thing in our lives. So we're doing a new thing through Jesus Christ. God is doing a new thing through our music. We're doing a new thing so he can use it.